نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعلني وزيرا من أهلي اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا اللهم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت الحليم الحكيم. Ayat number 145. ولئن أتيت الذين أوتوا الكتاب ولئن and even if أتيت الذين you were to bring to those أوتوا الكتاب who have been given the books بكل آية every sign ما تبعوا they will not follow قبلتك your qibla. So even if you prove to them through all the signs that this is the truth and you have to follow the same qibla as well by becoming Muslims, but they would not do so. وَمَا أَنْتَ بِتَابِعٍ قِبْلَتَهُمْ nor would you be a follower of their qibla. Wama anta and not would you be bitabi'in the follower qiblatahum their qibla. So they are never going to follow your direction and you are also not supposed to follow their direction. So why would they never follow your direction? The reason is just coming in the next ayah. So inshallah we'll discuss over there. So Allah is advising Muslims to not follow the direction of the people of the book as well. Wama ba'duhum nor are some of them bitabi'in the followers of the qiblata the direction of ba'az others. So nor are some followers of the qibla of the others. It means that the Christians who have taken their qibla as another wall of Bait al-Maqdis. Even they are not followers of each other. The Bani Israel, amongst them are Jews and Christians. Jews and Christians both follow the direction of Bait al-Maqdis, but they have chosen different walls and they even differ with each other. وَلَئِنِ اتَّبَعْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ and if you were to follow أهواءهم their desires. Ahwa is plural of hawa. Hawa means desire in Arabic. So if you have to follow their desires, their desire is that you follow their qibla, their direction. This is what they desire. So if you follow this is Allah is talking to Muslims that, O Muslims, if you follow their desires, min ba'di, after that, ma ja'aka, which has come to you min al-ilmi from the knowledge. So since the knowledge of the truth has already come to you, that the direction is now changed and the direction is now Kaaba. So if you still follow their direction, then innaka, indeed you are, then lamina zalimin, indeed from amongst the wrongdoers. Then you would be the wrongdoer. It means that then definitely you wouldn't be following the commandment of Allah, and if you do not follow Allah's commandments, then you are wrongdoer. Allazina ataynahumul kitaba. Those people, allazina, those who ataynahum, we gave them al-kitaba, the book. Ya'rifunahu, they recognize him. Kama, like ya'rifuna, they recognize abna'ahum, their sons. So these are the people who recognized Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam just like they recognize their sons. Now imagine how well we recognize our sons. Even if our sons are, even if we have closed our eyes and our son passes by, we recognize them through their footsteps. Or if they're sleeping and they're covered in blanket, we recognize that this is my son sleeping over here. Or if they're talking somewhere and we're listening from another room, we will recognize that this is my son who is talking. or if somebody's son is crying, then they would recognize their son even from the sound of crying. So this is how closely we can recognize our sons, and this is how closely they recognized Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they had very clear signs in their books that this is how the last prophet would be. So who is Allah talking about over here? These are basically the Jews. So this particular trait of the Jews, that they recognized Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like they recognized their sons. This is being mentioned in Quran several times, and whenever this trait comes, it means that the Jews are specifically referred over here. So Jews basically, these are the people who were given book and they recognize Prophet ﷺ very clearly without any doubts. وَإِنَّ فَرِيقًا مِّنْهُمْ, and indeed a group minhum from amongst themselves la yaktumun al-haqqa, indeed hides the truth. Wahum ya'lamun, and they know it. Who is the group from them which hid the truth? They were their scholars. So in Judaism, basically their scholars are the ones who have the access to complete books. The laymen, they do not have access to their books, and they basically do not read their books cover to cover like we do. We Muslims do. This is the practice of Muslims that Muslims follow. Otherwise, in Christianity and Judaism, the Jews and Christians, they do not completely read their books from cover to cover at their homes. It's not their regular practice. It's their scholars who, or priests, etc., who basically guide them on what to do and what not to do. So the group from amongst themselves, it means that their scholars, they basically hid the truth, they concealed the truth from the people, because they recognized Prophet ﷺ still when their people came to them and asked whether he is the true prophet or not, for which we were waiting. We were already waiting for the last prophet to come. So the scholars said, no, he is not the one. Wahum ya'lamun, though they knew it, they knew the truth, still they denied it. Why did they deny? They denied because of their arrogance. Uh, what was the arrogance all about? They basically wanted that, and they expected that the last prophet would come from their progeny. Basically, these people, the people of Bani Israel, Israel is the second name of Yaqub alayhi salam, the prophet. So they were the descendants of Yaqub alayhi salam, who is the son of Ishaq alayhi salam. While Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came from the progeny of Ismail alayhi salam, who was the brother of Ishaq alayhi salam, the elder brother of Ishaq alayhi salam. So all the prophets of Bani Israel are from the progeny of Ishaq alayhi salam, while the last prophet came from Ismail alayhi salam. So this was what pinched them, and they were living in the Arab, amongst the Arabs. These Jews were living amongst pagans of the Arabs only because they knew that these are the lands over where the last prophet would come, and they were expecting that the last prophet would come in their progeny. So they shifted over there in those lands. However, Allah sent the last prophet from Arabs and in Arabs. So they were basically disappointed from it, and we will study many ayahs after that as well, and we studied previously in the first para as well that when they said that Jibrail alayhi salam, the angel, he made mistake and he gave revelation to Arabs instead of giving revelation to us. This and that is why they were enemy to Jibrail alayhi salam. They didn't like, Nauzubillah, they didn't like Jibrail alayhi salam as well. We have already studied these ayahs in para number 1. Okay, so this was basically their problem. Al-haqqu min rabbika, the truth is from your Lord. Fala, then not takunanna, you become minal mumtarin, of those who doubt. So the truth has already come from your Lord, so do not be of those who doubt it. So, this is a general commandment specifically referring to the Muslims, that this is the truth that has come to you. The truth means over here the change of the Qibla. The direction has been changed. So, that is the truth, and do not doubt it. Do not be confused about it and just follow it. وَلِكُلِّ وِجْهَةٌ هُوَ مُوَلِّيهَا. And to each, وَلِكُلِّ وِجْهَةٌ, and to each is huwa, that muwalliha, a direction. There is a direction. So for everyone is a direction. There is always a direction towards which everyone follows. The direction that everyone follows. Everyone has a direction which they follow, basically. This is what it means. So it means that by direction over here doesn't just mean Qibla. Rather, even non-Muslims, they might not be facing one Qibla when they do their rituals, etc., especially the rituals of idolatry. But direction over here means that they also have a set pattern of ways, set pattern of rituals to do that they do, set ways that they follow in order to please their idols, etc. So their set patterns or their set ways is their direction that they follow and they act upon. Okay, so everyone has defined something that they follow. فاستبقوا الخيرات, then hasten towards al khairat, the goodness. Then hasten towards the goodness, or fastabiqu basically means istabaqa basically means compete with each other. Then compete with each other with respect to goodness. One second, I'm looking at the ayah. Okay, this is ayah number 148. Yes. So for everyone, there is a direction to which he turns his face. Strive then to excel each other in good deeds. Strive to excel or compete with each other to excel in the good deeds. So it means that your focus should be the good deeds. Instead of focusing too much on the fact that why the Qibla is being changed now, why we have to follow Kaaba instead of Baitul Maqdis now, instead of getting confused about it, or following Jews and just getting influenced by them that they are making fun of you, or munafiqeen are making fun of you. Do not listen to them. Do not be confused. Do not be in any doubt. Rather, focus on doing good deeds and focus on excelling in good deeds. أينما تكونوا, wherever you are, يأتي بكم الله جميعا. Allah will bring all of you jami'an together. So Allah will bring all of you together means that Allah will bring all of you together on the day of judgment. So wherever you are, whichever direction you are following, whichever set of patterns or whichever rituals you are doing, ultimately all of you have to come back to Allah, and you will be held accountable in front of Allah for the directions that you chose in this dunya. So, whether it's Ahle Kitab or it's Mushrikeen or it's Muslims or anybody in the world, they have to come to Allah ultimately. So, what do? Your priority should be fastabiqul khairat. Your priority should be excelling in the good deeds. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Indeed, Allah over everything is all powerful. So, how is Allah powerful in this ayah? By bringing everyone together on the day of judgment. So, this can be done only by an entity who is all powerful. So Allah is all powerful and Allah will bring everyone together ultimately. So follow Allah's commandments in this world and do not doubt Him. وَمِنْ حَيْثُ, and from wherever kharajta, you go out, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ, then turn your face. Again, this is singular. Kaf sabar ka is singular. So Allah is talking to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that from wherever you go out, it means that whether you are coming out of your house or you are in some market or you're coming out of it or you are coming out of some other person's house or you are going somewhere else, when it's time of the prayer, you turn your face towards Shatral Masjidil Harami, towards Masjidul Haram. So you have to turn your face towards Masjidul Haram. This is your new Qibla now. Again, the same thing is said, and I already told you in the class on Friday that this commandment will come again and again in these some of these previous ayahs. In almost 10 ayahs, this commandment is repeated again. Why? Because the Jews and Munafiqun, they were basically confusing the Muslims and they were making fun of them that look, your Qibla is being changed now. Um, there there isn't any logic behind it. Why would it happen, etc., etc. So they were basically spreading a lot of negative propaganda about it. That is why Allah is repeating the same commandment and explaining to them how important it is. وَإِنَّهُ لَلْحَقُّ, and indeed this is the truth. The inna means indeed and also lam zabar la. This also comes for indeed or certainly. So there are two certainly over here. And certainly this is the truth, min rabbik, from your Lord. So again, saying this is basically emphasizing on this fact of change in the Qibla again, so that Muslims, all the confusion of the Muslims is removed. Wamallahu, and Allah is not بِغَافِلٍ, unaware, amma ta'amalun, of what you do. So this is now plural. Allah is saying that whatever you are doing with respect to this commandment, whether you are following it or you are not following it, or you are getting influenced by those people, Allah is aware of what you are doing. وَمِنْ حَيْثُ خَرَجْتَ, and from wherever you go out, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ, then turn your face towards Masjid al-Haram. The same commandment is repeated. Look at 149, the first portion of 149, and then the first portion of 150, exactly same words repeated. And yes, so the next sentence is وَحَيْثُ مَا كُنْتُمْ, and wherever you are. Now the same commandment is repeated again, now for all of the Muslims. Okay, فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ, turn your faces, all of you turn your faces, shatrahu, towards it. So first commandment is directly to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then second commandment is now towards all of the Muslims, that all of you turn towards Kaaba. Li Allah, so that yakuna linnasi, it becomes for people, alaykum, over you, hujjatun, li Allah, so that there is no upon for people upon you hujjatun, an argument. It means that so that people will not have any argument against you, that you are not following the commandment of Allah. If you will not follow the direction, the new direction, then people can argue against you that you are not following the commandments of Allah. But this is not you should be doing. Okay, this is what it means. So illa allazina zalamu minhum, except for those who do wrong among you people. So who among them. So who are those people who were basically doing wrong among them? They are the munafiqun. So munafiqun are the people who will not still be following the commandments, but other people, rest of you should definitely be, and so that people do not argue against you anymore. Fala takhshawhum, then do not fear them. Wakhshawni, and fear me. So if anybody, any human being, this is direct commandment to them, but even if we apply this particular portion, فَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ وَخْشَوْنِي, to us, or if, in these times, whenever any commandment of Allah that people find difficult or people do not want to follow, they are basically doing it because of other people that are around them. They are only, most of the time, they are worried about what the people would say or how they would look at me. If I start observing parda, how the people would look at me, the people would make fun of me, the people would talk about me. Or if I do something like this and not like that, then the people, what would people say about me? This is what we worry about all the time. We worry all the time about people alone. Exactly, this is what Allah is saying over here, and this particular phrase is repeated again and again in Quran as well. We'll say this in the next surah, and again in the next surah, again in the fifth surah. In these particular Madani surahs, this phrase will come again, because all the Madani surahs basically are about the commandments. And when the people who do not follow the commandments of Allah, most of the time they do it out of the fear of people, that what would the people say. So Allah is saying that do not fear them, do not fear that they are making fun of you while you are changing Qibla, or they are creating doubts in your hearts while you are changing the Qibla. Rather, Wakshawdi, fear me. Rather, fear me means that fear Allah and follow Allah's commandment. If we will not have any fear of Allah in our hearts, then we will not be motivated enough to follow Allah's commandments. Only love is not, cannot be the only tool. The love cannot be the only tool to convince anybody to follow their commandments. Rather, there has to be certain amount of fear as well. Otherwise, human beings do not operate in a way that they just follow somebody they love. There has to have some fear in their minds. Like, for example, if you love somebody and you obey that person completely, but still you would be fearful that what if that person leaves me? So I need to be more uh, loving towards him or caring towards him, so that that person doesn't leave me. So there would be some kind of fear in your mind as well. So love and fear are always together in the mind. So fala takshahum wakshawni, then do not fear them, rather fear me. Wali utimma, so that I may complete ni'mati, my favor or my reward or my gift, alaykum, upon you, so that I complete my gift upon you. It means that how is Allah completing His ni'mat, His favor upon Muslims over here? By giving the commandments that basically complete the structure of Islam, that complete the deen of Islam. Okay, so all the commandments of Islam, which are coming in Madani Dor, they basically make a complete frame structure, a framework that presents us a complete framework that we follow. So this is how this commandment of change of the Qibla is part of that framework. Okay. So that is why Allah is saying, so that I complete this favor upon you, my favor upon you, وَلَعَلَّكُمْ, and so that you may be تَهْتَدُونَ, you may be guided, and so that you may be guided towards the truth, that this is the Qibla now and you have to follow it. So this is the truth and you may be guided towards it. So this is part of the completion of this Nemat of Islam upon the mankind. Kama, ayat number 151. Kama, just like Arsalna, we sent fikum, amongst you, Rasulan, a prophet, minkum, from amongst you. It means that we sent the last prophet from you. He didn't come from any other regions of the world. Like you guys are Arabs, so Allah sent prophet from amongst you towards you. And ultimately Prophet ﷺ is for all of the mankind. This is clearly stated in Quran as well. But he was sent in Arabs from Arabs so that they first understand him completely, because he was raised amongst them and he was speaking their language, and they understood his character and his manners very well. So it would be easy for them to follow him first, and then Islam would spread all around the world. But and this was the sunnah of Allah, that Allah always sent the prophets from their own nations. Like Shuaib alayhi salam, he belonged to his own nation. He was they from the descendants of those people amongst whom he was sent. Similarly, all other prophets, except for some exceptions. There are some exceptions as well, but majority of the times the prophets were sent from amongst their nations. So similar was the case in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. يتلو عليكم, he recites عليكم, upon you, ayatina, our ayat, our verses. So he recite upon you our verses. This is number one responsibility of the prophet that is being sent to you, that he would recite Allah's ayat to you. So Allah will reveal his ayat upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will recite them to the people. This is his responsibility, because Quran is being revealed to him. وَيُزَكِّيكُمْ, and purifying you or cleansing your hearts. So the second responsibility of the prophet is that he would purify your hearts. How the hearts are purified? By removing the diseases of the heart, or by removing any bad actions or bad intentions or bad thoughts from the heart, so that good deeds or good intentions can grow inside the heart. Just like we clean our gardens of the bushes, etc., so that the trees or plants can grow. This is exactly what the taskiya is. So cleansing of the heart, or even purification of the soul, it's the same thing. This is what tazkiya is. Okay, so the second responsibility of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that he would purify your souls. The first is that he would recite the ayat. So when the ayat are recited, they also enter the heart, they also make the heart soft, and they also act as a cleanser that cleanses the hearts. Okay, so the ayat is also doing their work, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will also boost their iman so that their souls are purified. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ, and he teaches you al-kitab, the book. Al-kitab over here means the law. Okay, the law in the book, the shariat in the book. So he would then teach you the law. Firstly, he would recite all the ayat, which would then purify people, and then he would, once the hearts are purified, then it is his responsibility to teach them the law. That is what to do and what not to do. Like, for example, this is something that you can eat, and this is something that you can not eat. So the people can only follow law when their hearts are cleaned and Iman has entered in their hearts. If Iman is not in their hearts and their hearts are not purified, then it would be very, very difficult for people to follow the commandments. So that is why at third step is he would teach them the law. Third is hikmah, and he will teach them al hikmah, that is wisdom. Wisdom over here means the methodology of acting upon the commandments of Allah. That is the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he wouldn't just teach them the law, but he would also give them the demonstration. He would also teach them the practical implication of that law, how to act upon that law, how to apply those laws in your life. This is also his responsibility to teach. So these are the four responsibilities that were given to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was sent as a messenger. So, if you guys remember, these four responsibilities has already come in para number 1. We have already studied them. When Ibrahim alayhi salam was constructing Kaaba and he was making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the people of Makkah, for the land of Makkah, for his own children. And then he also made dua that Ya Allah, these he was making Kaaba in Arab, okay, in Makkah. So he made dua that Ya Allah, please amongst these people send a messenger who will do these four things, okay, who will have the responsibility of doing these four tasks. So this is basically the fulfillment of the dua of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam as well. And Allah accepted his dua, and Allah sent the last prophet in the progeny of Ismail alayhi salam. And Allah gave him the same four responsibilities that Ibrahim alayhi salam asked Allah for. His sequence was different. He said about tazkiyah at the end. That was the fourth responsibility according to Ibrahim alayhi salam. But Allah corrected the sequence, and Allah then accepted the dua as it is mentioned over here in this ayah. Also, this ayah will come again in Surah Al Imran and then for the fourth time in Suratul Jama'ah in 28th para. So these particular four responsibilities of Prophet Muhammad SAW comes four times in Quran Majid. Also, this is basically the methodology of teaching any subject. If you want to teach any subject to any person, these are the four steps that you should be following in order to teach people anything. Like if you want to teach physics to somebody, you first have to read the book, just like we're reciting ayat over here. So you have to read the book first, and then you have to purify their hearts. It means that you have to remove the wrong concepts if they already have some wrong concepts in their minds, like if their definition of velocity or acceleration is wrong, you have to clear it first, and then you teach them the right thing. You teach them al kitab, and then you teach them hikmah. That is, you don't just teach them theory, rather you also teach them practical. So this methodology is applicable everywhere. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ, and you teach them مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ, that you did not know. It means that Prophet ﷺ is not teaching it from his own self. He didn't know all of this. Rather, Allah taught him. Allah taught him Quran, and from Quran, he is now teaching to people. So inshallah, we'll continue from this point onwards on Friday, inshallah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.